It's Andy here, and apparently the N-word is still being used upon in local neighborhoods because that is the most appropriate place to use it, especially if you are a non-person of color. But also I want to say that consequences are a thing. Your actions do have consequences. Let's talk about this one. It's really interesting. Now in this clip, a white man allegedly identified as Cagney Matthews was caught yelling racial slurs, including the N-word, at his black neighbors. Again, are we surprised? It's 2021 and everything in the book is still being used. Go figure. Matthews calls a man who was black a monkey, along with many uses of the N-word, all while defending that his actions are permissible because he's on quote-unquote public grounds.
Back up. Keep backing up. Back up. Don't touch me. Keep backing up. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Vito, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Just like I told the Mount Laurel police, get these monkey out of here and you can't do. That's me talking.
Because you're on public grounds. Duh. It is unclear what Matthews' intentions were that led to the situation, other than to assert dominance against the black neighbors. Just then, shortly after, a white Mount Laurel police officer arrives on the scene. He then tells Matthews to return to his home and that they'll talk later, then attempts to talk with a neighbor that Matthews yelled at. And yes, just when you guessed it, you can predict what the climax was. Matthews started yelling racial slurs at the neighbor in front of the officer. Like, I can't write this. This is just the story at large.
Hold on. You know what? Hold on. Go ahead. No. I'm gonna let you do your thing. Go talk to these. Go ahead. Stop. You go talk to the. Let them know what I'm all about and what their rights they have.
All right. You want to go back to your house? I'll come back to you.
No, I'll stay right here. It's common property.
Okay.
It was just then around this moment when Matthews actually blurted out his address to the person recording the video for anyone to quote-unquote pull up at his place to see what happens. And apparently this isn't the first time Matthews has had like a lot of these confrontations with other neighbors using similar language. But another one-on-one video shows that they discovered some interesting information about this neighbor. In the video, Matthews is seen telling her former neighbor that he sells drugs, and that because the police are his people, she won't get any help from the cops.
I sell drugs. That's what I do. That's what I've always done around here. I stopped, went to prison 3 times. Now I have all the friends with the cops. If you guys want to keep doing it this route, we're going to go the legal route. You're not going to get any help from the cops because they're my people. Do you understand?
The same neighbor who posted this video of Matthews threatening her on the stairs alleges that he also kicked her door, damaged her car, and filed false complaints against her, and yet she didn't receive any help from the police. These stories began circulating all over the media, reaching about 64,000 and 74,000 views. Just shortly after the scene occurred, the police made a post that the resident regarding Matthews was arrested and charged with harassment and bias intimidation. But if you also remember, Matthews blurted out the address in that first video. And obviously, if you really want to go to that address, you can. So take a look at what happened. That's right, on July 5th, this TikTok video captured by I'm Mike Lowry reached 2 million views and had heavily surfaced on social media. And many people on social media rejoiced and were quick to surge their joy after seeing Matthew's racist behavior. Because Matthew previously told his address in the first video, nearly dozens of people showed up to his front apartment to protest against him, shouting chants like, "Come outside!" This is when the police arrived and arrested Matthews. The arrest was so devastating that many protests began throwing objects at Matthews and the officers out of pure spite and anger. As the police car drives away with many protesters shouting with joy, the sight of redemption has brought the media together to signify that racism should be put in its place for good. Comments surfacing the internet were definitely not hesitant to make a lesson out of the situation, reminding people that hate and racism and speech will all have consequences. So the moral of the story is don't be bad. Also, don't blurt out your address to a bunch of people who are recording videos because as you've seen in any video, people can use it against you. But also be a nice person. Don't call someone a monkey. Don't use the N-word. Just don't do it. But for more social medias daily, head to whatstrending.com. Follow me, Andy Lalwani, to see, I guess, more commentary about events like this. But I will check you later with more news soon.